Hello again, fellow BeachBum traders. Welcome back for part 2 of our weekly trading game plan for the week of January 17th through January 21st. Just a quick reminder that Monday, January 17th is the markets are closed in observance of Martin Luther King Jr. holiday. So our first trading day will be Tuesday the 18th. So let's get started and talk about our stocks that we want to watch, updates to our watch lists, and our trading strategy and stock picks, and strategy for going forward in this week of January 17th through the 21st. So let's get started. Okay, firstly I wanted to talk about some major factors to consider in any of your stock picks, any positions that you're going to take in the short term, and our strategy for handling those factors. And those factors that I want to talk about today, and we'll talk about them now and then later at the end in our strategy session, is seasonality and the Fed. And very quickly, we've made some updates even since yesterday. We're rapidly building out our homepage. You can see our homepage is beachbumtrading.com, and we're adding links and contents, etc. But I wanted to point out in the links because it's quick and easy reference. I'm lazy, so I want everything in one place so I can quickly get to it. And you can see we've added additional links in the tools and reference links, and one of which is to get to the seasonality best month to buy stocks, and also to the FOMC, the Fed meeting committee minutes. And those are the two factors that I wanted to briefly cover for consideration. And the first one, if you hit the link for the best months to buy stocks, we can quickly jump down to that portion, and we can see that January, the January effect, it tends to be up about 10%, and then we see a drop off in gains in February, and then increase back up in March again. So there we can see, okay, January average, historical average 10%, February is a drop off, and then March picks back up, and then we have a drop off again. And the reason I want to bring this up is, we're in the middle of January already, okay? So if you're buying a position going into February, we expect a lower return. So again, both of these factors that I want to talk about says that if you're getting into a swing, into a position, you might want to consider a shorter term position. If it's a short term swing, that's great, but you may want to, look to get out in February and back in March, April. If we're talking about a long-term investment, seasonality doesn't matter as much, right? You're just looking for a general increase on a long-term investment. But let's talk about the other factor, which is the Fed. And is this a good time to get into a long-term investment, or would you be better off waiting to a February or later March time frame? So let's also look at the FOMC. Again, you can quickly and easily access this link from our homepage, and again, please, bookmark our homepage, visit often. We'll add further links for quick and easy reference there. And if we look at the Fed minutes link, we will see that the FOMC has a meeting in January, the end of January, 25th and 26th. Now, I have not heard anyone that expects that they will announce any rate hikes, etc., decrease in the or acceleration. There might be an acceleration of the tapering, etc., but nothing major coming out of this meeting. But we even saw just the release of minutes this past week caused volatility and a drop in the market. So something to be aware of is we're coming into this FOMC meeting the end of January, and this is another factor that may cause increased volatility. It may cause some tantrum, a drop in the markets. Then we've got our March meeting in the 15th and 16th of March, and that's where now everyone is talking about they expect the tapering to conclude, possibly even a reduction in the balance sheet of the Fed, selling of bonds at that March meeting, and rate hikes. We don't know how big of a rate hike, but the first rate hike is now expected in that March meeting. So again, if we're looking at the seasonality and these FOMC meeting factors, again, it says, be careful with a long-term position, because we're looking at a shorter-term return and a possible tantrum in the March time frame. Now, again, the historical trend is March, April are good, but this factor of the Fed meeting may disturb that this year and in the near term. So again, I wanted to point out those factors so that you're considering them in terms of your swings, where you want to look for a shorter term swing or short-term positions, if you're daily, whatever, momentum breakout trader, etc. It's less important. And again, if you're a long-term investor and you're just going to hold it through all this turmoil, that's fine too. In the long run, the markets tend to go up, you're fine. But we wanted to point out these near-term factors in terms of the positions that you're looking to hold. Please consider that. So we hope that helps. So now let's look at our watch lists. Okay, now let's talk about what updates we want to make to our various watch lists, bullpen, shopping lists, strategy, etc. going forward for this week. First, let's talk about BOIL. As we'll see, and I'll look at the chart when we get in Webull in a second. We finally got stopped out of our long position in BOIL that we'd been swinging since the 30th, since the end of the year. Finally got stopped out on the 13th. You can see we entered at 23.86. We got stopped out at 33.45 for a greater than 40% ROI, which equates to a monthly of 86. Congratulations to all of our fellow BeachBum traders who also followed us and made money and profited on this latest swing in BOIL. We also posted these updates to our positions in the comments of last week's weekly trading game plan, which we will continue to do probably. So keep an eye on the comments to this video, and we will post changes to our watch list, etc. on a potentially daily basis as we identify new things we want to add and change to our watch list. So you can see we got stopped out of our position in BOIL. We'll also talk about we went long a position on DRIP, which is the short on oil. You can see, it's a 2x leveraged, etc. So you can see that in the comments of last week's weekly trading game plan as well. So now let's jump over to our watch list, the watch list tab in the online browser version of Webull. You can find our affiliate link to Webull in the description box below, and also in our favorite trading tools links on our homepage. So I'm on the watch list tabs. Here's my primary watch list. We can talk about BOIL. You can see the list here, and here's where we can quickly maintain our watch list. I want to jump over to the stocks tab where we can also see the charts. So again, we'll look at the chart in BOIL. We can see if we go back about a month, we can see where we entered when it bottomed and turned up, broke the VWAP, etc. You can see, when we were manually trailing this with a stop as it 2 levels below, which I found is the trick with BOIL, because if you're only 1 level below, you can see it has a tendency, they push it down through the support level to hit those stops. If you stay 2 levels below, you can ride the trend. When it finally does turn down, we got stopped out, took our profit. Now we're going to wait and see if nat gas, if BOIL comes back down here, and if it comes back down to one of these support levels, we will go long BOIL again. This is a great play. It's surprising it's even coming down right now given the cold snap, etc. as we talked about, looked at the futures in part 1. But if we get that opportunity to swing nat gas, swing BOIL again some more, it's been a great profit making trade for us. one we're going to add this week is BWEN BWEN Inc. It is an infrastructure play. They do wind energy. They have been, it looks profitable. It's optionable. There's an auction for wind energy rights off the northeast coast. I believe it's New Jersey, possibly New York, etc. soon. I believe in March. This is a potential catalyst for BWEN. So we're going to add BWN to our watch list. You can see we kind of missed that bottom initially, but I think there may still be an opportunity if it comes back down a little bit and catches support and then swings back up. We would go long BWEN. Okay, the next one we've added is CRSR Corsair Gaming. You can see it's a gaming stock. It's also profitable, optionable, etc. We can see, you know, we'd kind of like it a little cheaper, but again, if it comes back down to this support, we would like to go long on Corsair Gaming. Again, it's profitable, optionable. Maybe we should do a due diligence video on that one. DDD 3D Systems we've had on the watch list. We'll leave it there. You can see it kind of ran away a little bit, but maybe coming back down. All the 3D printings kind of look very similar. They've come down a little bit. They look kind of flat. If it does dip and then turn back up, we would like DDD somewhere, you know, down here. GLDI we'd really like to get back into. We'd really like to be able to get back into it at 828, 831. This is the Credit Suisse monthly dividend paying ETF on gold, and this is one I'd like to get back in with a large size for a long-term hold, particularly through this seasonality, all the Fed turmoil, the hot inflation, all that. We really like the long-term prospect of gold. We're still long SLVO, which is the silver version of this as well. So we'd like to get back in as soon as we get an opportunity. We'll get back into GLDI. IMMR we've added to our watch list as of last week. As a bonus for watching this weekly traded game plan, we have an unlisted due diligence video out there that we've released earlier to our Patreon members, and now you can also see this. Well, we'll put this link in the description box below. This is our due diligence video on IMMR. Why do we like it? It's a cheap metaverse stock. We really like it. We want to get in. We're just looking for the right time. Just a little bit of a dip on the NASDAQ, and tech ran up on Friday, so we let it go. If we get a little pressure on tech and the NASDAQ, we expect both Corsair, IMMR, ROKU skills, etc. to come down, and that would present a potential opportunity. Similarly, QYLD is a covered call ETF on the NASDAQ 100, and it's a dividend paying. This is a long-term play. It pays dividends. Again, it's on the biggest, the NASDAQ 100 stocks. And again, we're looking at this in 21 down here, 21, 25-ish range. And this would just be, again, another long-term investment to kind of hold out through this seasonality, through the rate hikes. Now, the NASDAQ's going to get hit. It's been hit. But that may present an opportunity to hold this QYLD. It's a very attractive, very popular ETF. Pays dividends pretty consistently. So if we get the opportunity to put a chunk and hold some cash, to park some cash, this would be a good place for us to park some cash for a while and collect some dividends as we get through all this seasonality and the Fed turmoil, etc. So we're leaving ROKU. ROKU just keeps declining, and we're just literally waiting for it to bottom and find a bottom and turn up. The value, the opportunity just keeps getting better as it gets cheaper. So we're just waiting for it to bottom and turn up. As soon as it does, we're going to go long ROKU. You can see our past due diligence video on ROKU, why do we like it long term, etc. Again, if they keep pushing it down, they're just increasing the value and making it more attractive. Skills, we talked about last week as well. We had gone long skills and then we got stopped out. We're going to, we made 8% for a quick 2-day swing, which was great. And then it turned down. We want to, and congratulations to all of our other BeachBum traders who also made money on this quick swing and skills. You can see it peaked, turned down. Now it's coming back down. We want to play this one again as soon as it kind of bottoms out in this area, and we'll swing skills again. We also have unlisted due diligence video on skills, again as a bonus. Our Patreon members have gotten early access to this, and now since you're watching this, I'll put this link in the description box and you can see our due diligence video on skills again. Just as a quick plug, what we're doing is our Patreon members, if you're willing and able to help support us in our efforts to make content like this, we're giving our Patreon members early access to our videos as we produce them. And then, eventually we'll premiere these later. So UVXY, we've talked about, our play on the VIX. This is a long on the VIX. We're waiting for the VIX to come back down 16 or below. It's been very choppy. It may not come back down. It may spike up. We also have a buy setting high using SVXY, which is the short on the VIX. So we're going to play both sides of the VIX. We'll talk about reversals in the ETFs and how to play reversals in a minute. WYY, again, this is a low float, choppy infrastructure play. We've had it on here. We're just kind of waiting to see if there's an opportunity. Again, you can see how choppy it is. It just jumps around. These low float guys are frustrating, but I'll leave it on for now. So that's what we have in our primary watch list for this week. Again, please consider the seasonality and the Fed in terms of the length of time for these swings. Are you looking at a swing, day trade, breakout, or long term? Please consider those factors when taking positions in these stocks, and as we will too. And now let's talk about our bullpen and shopping lists and strategy. Okay, now let's talk about updates to our bullpen. And for anyone who's new to our channel, the concept of bullpen stocks, our bullpen watch list, we kind of took from Jim Cramer. These are stocks that we're not going to be watching on a real-time basis every day, but maybe at the end of the day we'll revisit them and see if it's something that we want to, quote, put in the game, move them up to our watch list. So we have a separate watch list. Again, we're not watching it real time to keep our focus on the ones that we really want to watch, but these are kind of the next in line, next to come in the game. So we've got a separate watch list, and you can see in Webull, I can quickly flip over. I'm on the stock screen. I can just pick a different watch list, and then I can quickly get to those stocks in my bullpen watch list. So you can see what we've currently got in our watch list. AQMS is this Aqua Metals. We'll leave that in the bullpen right now. It's been declining. They're not profitable. You can listen to previous game plans where we added this and our discussion, but it does have some attractive characteristics. CARB is also a bank, a minority bank. Again, their profitability is a little questionable, but we'll leave that in the bullpen. One we're adding back into the bullpen is Grow, because we got stopped out of our position for pretty much break even, and we're looking to re-enter Grow. So you can see it kind of turned down. We got stopped out kind of early, and then it ran up. If it comes back down, we would like to take a long position and Grow. It ran up with cryptocurrencies. If cryptocurrencies get hit, they may come back down. So we would like a long-term position in Grow, but we'd like it a little bit cheaper. Another one we're adding to our watch list. This is a new stock we added to our database recently based on some of our screeners. It popped up as a potential value is POW, P-O-W-W. It's Ammo Inc. They obviously sell ammunition. It is profitable. It's optionable. We would kind of like it down in the 475-ish, this range somewhere, and we're kind of 470 is its low, so it looks attractive. We may move that guy up pretty quickly. So POW again is one we're adding to our bullpen. You might want to take a look at it, see if it looks good to you. We'll leave these treasury guys in the bullpen. Again, we're looking for this is the 20-year treasury and the 7 and 10-year treasury, TMF and TYD. These are long on the price. If the price bottoms, we get an opportunity. If it's an irrational spike down in the price, we may go long on treasuries. If we get a spike up in yields, then we'll short the yields. And again, we'll talk about reversals in the ETFs in just a second. We'll leave YALA on the bullpen. Again, I have some questions about the foreign ownership of YALA, but it is profitable. If we get an attractive entry, we may take that. One I'm going to add to our bullpen is WEON, V-E-O-N. This is a Dutch, a Netherlands telecom company. Negatives, they do have high debt. A positive is that it pays dividends, it's profitable, etc. It has had some nice long-term swings in the past, so we're going to add VEON to our watch list. And again, I'll leave the link to how to maintain this watch list from the stock screen, but you can see how easy it is. You enter the symbol in the search. You can star what watch list you want to add it to. I want to add it to my bullpen. Boom. Now we've got WEON on our bullpen watch list, and you can see how it's kind of trailed off. And if it comes back down, somewhere in here and swings back up, it may be an attractive entry for WEON. Again, dividend paying Dutch, so it gives you some European exposure. People are talking that Europe has been trailing, but now may be in a growth phase, recovery phase. So this would give you some European exposure, a dividend payer, etc. So those are our updates to our bullpen. Now let's talk about our shopping list and some strategy. Okay, let's talk about our shopping list. As always, we highly recommend that you keep a shopping list of what stocks would you like to buy if you get the opportunity. If the market corrects, crashes, whatever, what do you want to buy? So let's talk about our shopping list. One of the other thing I want to talk about is ETFs, and I mentioned several times we want to watch ETFs for reversals. So let's go to our ETF watch list. As I have a separate watch list, and you can see again in Webull you can create multiple watch lists, and I keep a watch list of a whole series of ETFs on different commodities, different futures, different indices, etc. That I want to keep an eye on and look at, periodically. One of the things I'm going to be working on the rest of this weekend is a way to automate watching for reversals in these ETFs. We'll talk about, okay, we're now long drip, and that's what triggered this desire to look for reversals in these ETFs. As I kind of missed, there was a run up and then a reversal in oil this past week, and I would have loved to catch the long and then catch the short. I did catch the short, and then it turned again. We'll see. We see if I back up a 5-day, we'll see, oil kind of well, this is drip, so this is the inverse. If we look at gush, which is the long on oil, we'll see this run up, and then it reversed, it dipped, and then it ran back up. So I would have, liked to have caught this bottom reversal, run it up, and then catch the downturn. So I want to be able to automate those reversals in these ETFs. And again, we're going to be looking at this with a choppy market, with the volatility, increased volatility due to seasonality, etc. And the commodity prices that we've seen in the futures. I think there's going to be opportunities in a variety of these commodities, be it oil, nat gas, gold, silver, etc., as well as the indices, the increased volatility in the indices. I'd like to be able to play those with the long and short leverage ETFs. It's just a matter of catching them at the right time. And we're trying to learn how to be a better day trader, better breakout momentum trader as well, because again, these tend to happen rather quickly, and you have to be nimble to catch them, but you can play both sides. You can ride it up and take a profit, and then ride it down with the leveraged ETFs going both ways. So that's great. Again, I would recommend, build your own list of these types of ETFs that you want to watch for reversals, and take those opportunities. So again, we are now long on drip, which is a short on oil. I know oil ran back up to the 84, 85. They're talking about $100 oil, but in the long run, I believe the oil prices will eventually. Any commodity is very cyclical. Things they go up, they eventually peak, they come down as supply and demand influences them. So doing swings, cyclical swings on the commodities is great. We see a lot of opportunity to make a lot of money swinging these cyclical commodities. So we're going to work on automating that process. Just to wrap this up, some that we've recently started looking that are on our shopping list is VOO. You'll hear a lot of people buy VOO. A lot of people do dollar cost averaging. They just constantly buy VOO. This is the long on the S&P 500. It's a cheap, it's a very cost-effective ETF on the S&P 500. If we do get an opportunity to get in on a dip on the S&P 500, we would like to throw a chunk of money into VOO. Again, we'd like a little bit more attractive price, so if we get a nice capitulation drop in the S&P 500 one day, then we'll go long a chunk of VOO. BTI similarly is another very cost-effective ETF, but rather than just being on the S&P 500, BTI is on the total market. Is something like 4,000 stocks or something. So again, it's going to be less volatile than even the S&P 500 because you're also getting the NASDAQ, Dow, etc. And it pays a small dividend. So again, BTI is another good place to park some money, collect dividends over the long run. So these are long-term investments. For VOO, we're just looking for something, a cheaper price. Once we get an opportunity, the S&P, bottoms and starts to turn, we'll throw a chunk of money into VOO or BTI. BTI again is even more, it's safer, less risky, going to be more stable because it's even not just the S&P, it's a broader market. Another one we're adding is India. INDL is ETF on the Indian markets, and India has been outperforming recently. We can even look at this in FinBiz very quickly. You can see the chart on POW I was looking at. Here's INDL. So we can see, if we go to a weekly on INDL, we can see it's kind of reaching a breakout point. It's had a nice run up. Unfortunately, I missed that. I wasn't aware of this until someone in a Discord pointed it out, but we can see it's got plenty of upside. So again, this is one, it's in our shopping list. If we get an opportunity on a dip, to get into INDL, get into the Indian market. Again, that would be a further global diversification that we would find attractive. So again, that's something we're going to be looking at is ETFs, etc., opportunities to diversify globally, more commodities, more futures, possibly even to currencies. You know, we talked about cryptocurrencies, etc. So again, as the U.S. stock market gets choppy, you know, the Fed's increasing rates, etc. If the U.S. market gets less attractive, we want to find global markets that are more attractive as things evolve. So please leave your comments. What do you think of all this in the comments below? Let us know, you know, what do you like about this, don't like, what can we improve, etc. We hope you like this video. Please smash the like button so the YouTube algorithm will share this with more of your fellow BeachBum traders around the world. If you're not already a member of our BeachBum trading community, we hope you will choose to subscribe and share this with your fellow traders. And you know, if you'd like us to look at other symbols, stocks, etc., please put that in your in the comments box below, and we'll do what we can. So please visit our homepage. Please consider, if you're willing and able to support us through our Patreon, help us produce more of this type of content or whatever content that you would like us to produce. Please let us know that if you're willing to support us through our Patreon. That would be great and much appreciated. Please keep an eye on our social media links. Again, we're putting trade alerts, etc., new videos, first early access in our Patreon, and then also in the comments to our weekly trading game plans on our other social media sites. We can also have discussions in our BeachBum Trading Facebook group, and we can have longer discussions about whatever topics, trading related topics that you all would like to discuss there. So please join us there if you're not already, and we hope this all helps, and good luck and have a great trading week. We hope that you like our weekly game plan for the trading week for this week. Thank you for watching the video to the end. If you found this helpful, we hope that you will choose to subscribe to our BeachBum Trading YouTube channel, and please click the bell icon below to automatically be notified whenever we publish a new video. Please also share this with your fellow traders and friends via the share button included below. And let us know if you found our weekly game plans helpful in the comments included below. And let us know how we can improve. What would you like to see more, less of, etc. Thank you again for watching. Good luck and have a great trading week.